All right. All right. Zimmerman telegram. So the German foreign minister, who is basically the foreign policy guy of Germany, um, Arthur Zimmerman sent a telegram, which is the way to communicate to Mexico, asking them to attack the U.S. Germany figured if the U.S. was attacked by Mexico, then they would stay out of the war. As you can see on the right, it was actually coded in a telegram, so that way anybody who intercepted it, which was easy to do, couldn't break the code. However, the code was broken by the British, and they intercepted it and they broke it. Oh! Hey, United States, look at this! Look at this! Okay. Uh, Once the United States read the telegram, they recognized that Zimmerman was offering Mexico Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, which the United States had won in the Mexican-American War in 1846. So Mexico had lost this land to the United States, and the United States had just sort of invaded Mexico. So it looked like it wasn't that bad of an idea for Germany to do this. However, once it was intercepted, Mexico did not act on it, and the United States was very upset, as even the public, as it was released. Obviously, it looked like Germany was trying to, well, Germany was trying to get the United States in a war to keep them out of the war. And Germany also promised once we wrap up things here in Great Britain, with Great Britain and France, we'll come down there and help you beat the United States. Okay, go ahead and pause and add three things. Okay, this one's isn't exactly filled with symbols here, but with your island, go ahead and guess who is who, and try to determine what the symbols mean and what the artist believes. What's the overall message of this political cartoon? What does the artist think about it? Okay, so go ahead and pause, and with your island, come up with that response, and then as a class, you can answer. Okay. In March of 1917, the Russian people had finally had it, and they threw a revolution in the middle of the war. Much of the money was going towards the war and not towards people's food. So there's an enormous amount of starvation in the Russian population. So the Russian Tsar during the revolution abdicates, which means steps down. Um, this is Russia sets up a temporary government, but for some reason continues to fight in the war. Again, eventually, Russia will get out of the war. But the important thing here, as far as the United States entry, is that the United States had this principle where it would not fight along the side of a monarchy, which is what Russia was. They had a czar. Okay, they had a monarchy in place. They did not have a democracy. So the United States used that as a reason not to get involved in the war. It was one of the reasons. So suddenly, Russia wasn't a monarchy anymore, and it was sort of okay to fight with them or alongside of them. Um, so I, it was like one of the reasons the United States had for neutrality went away. And this was, of course, after the Zimmerman telegram. So those two things combined really started to sort of eliminate reasons for the United States to be neutral. Okay, go ahead and pause. Okay. So by April, based on all of these things, the president went to Congress and asked them to declare war. Again, the Congress is the body in the government, the branch that can declare war. The president cannot. However, when the president asks for war, it's not turned down. Based on all previous events, Wilson decided to ask to declare war. No more monarchy in Russia. Unrestricted submarine warfare was going again. Aggressive behavior like the Zimmerman. All of these reasons added up to the United States entering the war. Wilson asked Congress to go to war to make the world safe for democracy. Again, it was pretty popular because the president actually came and asked, even though it was a surprise that he was going to ask, based on his previous messages and campaigns. So Congress did declare war, 82-6 in the Senate, 373-50 in the House. As you can tell, there are still some anti-imperialists. There are still some pacifists. There are still some people who do not believe in going to war. And frankly, World War I was something that was sort of tough to. World War I was sort of tough to figure out exactly why, other than make the world safe for democracy. So that was his sort of reason. If you asked a random person on the street, why are we going to war? To make the world safe for democracy. So it was a smart political move on his part. Go ahead and pause. Well, here's a picture of Wilson asking the joint session of Congress to declare war, and here's a political cartoon about that. Okay, so with your islands, I'd like you to look at two symbols. Okay, let's look at two symbols and try to come up with the overall message, and then we'll be done. So go ahead and push pause.